Hey guys, 170 out here. Hope you are all doing really well. Welcome to a new episode of My Two Pennies Worth, where I just sort of take a look at an issue, a subject, or something that's come up that's grabbed my interest, and as I said, just put my views out there, put my opinion out there. My 2 pennies worth. Today, that is the fact that MLB The Show 21 is coming to Game Pass day one. This was announced by Xbox yesterday, and it's a pretty huge flipping deal, actually, for Xbox. A massive win for Xbox, not so much for Sony, but I'm going to come on to that sort of later on. And it obviously then raises a whole host of questions of like, how have Sony allowed this to happen? Why have Sony allowed this to happen? Whose decision was it actually? And obviously the ramifications of this decision going forward. But to understand why this is actually such a huge deal, we need to have a quick look at the history of this franchise. And because it has been a Sony exclusive since 1997. A 989 Sports first did it in MLB 98, which I released in 1997, and that was exclusively only on the PlayStation, which admittedly the Xbox wasn't out at that point. But even when the Xbox did come out, these MLB games did not come over to the Xbox platform. In fact, every single MLB game since 1998 has been a PlayStation exclusive. It's even found its way to the PlayStation Portable and the PlayStation Vita. Now, it's not too difficult to understand why that is. The development team behind it, or particularly since '06, is a series made by San Diego Studio. That's literally their name because that's where they're based. And they are a wholly owned subsidiary and first-party studio of Sony Interactive Entertainment. So their whole purpose, for the want of a better word, is to make games exclusively for Sony to put on the PlayStation. It'd be like Turn 10 on the Xbox side. That is what they do. And the Sony have been very, very protective and very, trumpeting all their exclusives, because that's pretty much what their business model is. And when you got your games like Horizon Zero Dawn and God of War and Spider-Man and Last of Us, are excellent games. I've personally not played them. I don't own a PlayStation, but I've read reviews and talked to a load of people who have played them, and they've all been saying, yeah, these are excellent games. And Sony have always said, look, this is why you should own a PlayStation. We have these great exclusives. So, and the only place that you can play them is on our platform. And MLB The Show was among that group of exclusives. Not now. So, whilst the announcement that it's coming to Game Pass is fairly new, it's only dropped yesterday, when MLB The Show, the game, was announced back in February, it was announced then that it was coming to the Xbox, which marked the very first time that the franchise was going onto a platform other than PlayStation. Which kind of makes sense. From what I can tell, MLB is pretty much the only sporting franchise, that wasn't multi-platform. NBA is multi-platform, F1, NFL, NHL, golf, FIFA being the biggest one. They are all multi-platform, but the MLB has always been, PlayStation only. But from February, from when MLB The Show was released, that has now changed. Now that doesn't, up to that point, that all sounds fine, but this release on Game Pass is, I can't get my head around it from a Sony perspective. I really can't. especially in light of Jim Ryan's comments regarding subscription services, how he doesn't think it's sustainable, it doesn't work for them, which is why they, especially putting games on a subscription service day one. A couple of months down the line, maybe, but not day one for him. And yet, not only is this going on a subscription service day one, this is going on a competitor's subscription service day one. Now, Sony have softened their stances on exclusives a little bit. Some of their big games, like the aforementioned Horizon Zero Dawn, are making their way over to PC, which I think is in direct response to Xbox's, play anywhere. We don't care. Console, PC, mobile, hell, if you can run it on your toaster, go for it. Play it anywhere. And that has got earned Xbox a lot of credit within the gaming community, and I think it's obviously put a lot of pressure on Sony to do something sort of similar. But again, this announcement is not similar, and there's a lot of obviously raising a lot of questions. As I said, who's allowed this? Who at Sony said yes, this is a good idea? Has Sony even had any say in the matter? Now, one theory at the moment is that they haven't, and this is purely MLB's decision. I can see it being MLB's decision to put it on Xbox. As I said, it was the only franchise not multi-platform. So I can see maybe MLB sort of going, hey, that we want this across multiple platforms. And if that's as far as it had gone, then Xbox and PS5 gamers would be on a level playing field in terms of you'd both have to put down $60, $70 in order to buy the game. And as I said, they'd all be on an equal footing. And that would make sense, I think, from MLB. You want to, it is part of, in a way, the marketing of MLB is having this game. So you want to reach as wide an audience as possible. Also money. And, I'm more certain that the MLB will be getting a portion of something, whether that's just, flat gross revenue or net profit. They will be getting something. So obviously, the more the more people you can reach, the more potential money you're going to make. So that from that regard, that's why this has actually happened. Was it MLB's decision to put this on Game Pass? And if it was, how much pushback did Sony give? Was Sony at such a disadvantage in negotiations that they had to accept this? Yes, Sony are not as big as Microsoft, but they've still got some pull. Just look at some of the Marvel exclusives they've been able to, to sign up. I do have a theory as to how this has come about. I'm going to come on to what I think's potentially happening here. Another theory is that Microsoft has thrown a load of money at Sony to get it on Game Pass. Now that's possible. The slight niggling doubt I have in the back of my mind on that one, though, is if you're going to do that, if you're going to throw a load of money at Sony to get a previously Sony exclusive onto your Game Pass system, why not go after one of the big guns? As I said, the Horizon Zero Dawn, God of War, Spider-Man. Why not go after those? Microsoft are not short of money. Xbox is obviously, is back. Microsoft is $1 trillion company. They dwarf anything Sony can muster in terms of pure cash flow. So why not go for one of the big guns if you're going to do it? I don't mean to deride MLB. I'm not a baseball fan. I don't, but when you look at the sales figures, they're just I had them up. Yeah, I had them, and now I can't find them. I think there are like couple of million units, which is not, which is good. I mean, it's the MLB The Show 19 apparently was the best-selling baseball game in US history. So they're big games, but would you put them in the same category as an Horizon Zero Dawn, as Spider-Man? I don't think you can. So if Microsoft are going to throw money at Sony, a lot of money at Sony to get an exclusive, because I really think they would have gone after one of those. This, as I said, this just doesn't make any sense from a Sony perspective, because they're giving away an exclusive. Now, not only that, they're giving away on the subscription service. So Xbox players are now at a massive advantage here. They don't have to lay down $60, $70 to play this game. They can just go onto Game Pass. Game Pass subscription is what? I think it's like £10.99 a month. And hell, I'll be honest, I'm a Game Pass Ultimate subscriber. I will probably play this game now. But I say probably. I'll be honest, I'll have a look at the achievement list and then decide whether I'm going to play it. I'm doing the same with Outriders as well. Actually, I'm going to look at the achievement list before I decide to play that on Game Pass. But anyway, the Xbox Now owners are just massive advantage. They don't have to lay down $60, $70 off the 50 quid. I keep switching between dollars and pounds. But anyway, they don't have to lay down a flat sort of one-off fee of like 50 quid. To play this game. They can just get it on their subscription service, which puts PlayStation owners at a massive disadvantage right out the gate from this. Now, how have Sony allowed this? This is where I'm going to put my tinfoil hat on a bit, because I'm not an expert, as I said. This is just me, throwing my views out there. I think the only way this makes any kind of sense to me is that this is an experiment for Sony. As I said, MLB is not their biggest exclusive franchise. And if they've already been forced by MLB to put this on Xbox at the very least anyway, have they allowed Game Pass because they really want to see how much benefit it is to them? They've been very reluctant to even start up their own subscription service. They've now started doing it. But at the moment, they've got their exclusives on there, but they don't put them out day one, unlike Microsoft, who put their first party titles day one on the Game Pass. So is this Sony's fairly low risk way of seeing what difference putting a game on a subscription service makes? Because they will be getting money for the fact that it's on Game Pass. Whatever that deal is, I don't know what the deals are. I don't know anyone who's ever gone into what the specifics of a Game Pass deal are. But obviously money's going to be involved. So they're going to be getting money from that. Any physical copies that are sold, they will get the money from that minus Xbox's fee, which I think is 30%. So they're taking a little bit of a hit there, but it's still money that they would not otherwise be getting. And also, because this is going to be a third-party title, it's not going to be on Game Pass forever. So it will eventually come off Game Pass. But as part of being on Game Pass, any game that was on there, Xbox owners can get at a discounted price. I think it's like 10% off or something. So all of this is on Microsoft. All Sony have had to do is go to San Diego Games and go, right, you guys are now coding this for Xbox, as opposed to coding it just for PlayStation. Sony can then look back and see what the numbers are. They will almost certainly be getting fed from Xbox as part of their deal how many people have played MLB on Game Pass. And then there they can look how much money they're making from Game Pass, how much money they would not otherwise have got, and let's just see how popular, whether it works for them. So what would be the end game of that? I don't see this as being a prelude to putting more Sony exclusives on Xbox. That just hasn't been Sony's game for a long while. But they have been very, very cautious about putting their exclusives on their subscription past day one. So maybe they're taking advantage of a situation that they've been forced into. In that, so they've been forced to put this on Xbox by MLB. But I said, this is just complete theory, complete conjecture. Been forced to put this on Xbox by MLB. So they have gone, okay, Xbox have clearly going to want this to put this on Game Pass because they want to put everything on Game Pass. That's just how, that's the way Xbox want to go down. So they're going, okay, we'll let you put this on Game Pass. And then Sony can sit back and see the numbers and then make a decision as to whether or not putting their exclusive games day one on a subscription service is worth it. Partly based on the showings of this. That is the only situation I can see that Sony are going to get anything out of this being on Game Pass. Because you're essentially handing credit to a competitor's platform and saying, yeah, we actually want to put our games on this. That's as I said, this makes no sense to me from a Sony perspective. And that's the only way I can see that this is working out for Sony. They're running this almost as an experiment to see, okay, is it worth us doing the same? Let's use this as a trial run. But there's no risk to us because it's not on our subscription platform. It's on somebody else's subscription platform. That's been my two pennies worth on this. You guys let me know what you think. Do you think that's Sony's game? Have Sony just been completely screwed over by MLB and Xbox have just taken full advantage of this? You guys let me know in the comments, and I will see you in my next two pennies worth video. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.